السفراء وممثلي المنظمات الدولية، السيدات والسادة المنتخبون والبرلمانيون والمدراء العامون، السلطات المحلية، السيدات والسادة الخبراء، ممثلي القطاع الخاص، ممثلي المجتمع المدني، نساء ورجال الإعلام، ضيوفنا الكرام. بداية أود أن أرحب بكم اليوم في مدينة مراكش التي تحتضن كعادتها الدورة الخامسة من قمة WorldPtX، وهو لقاء سنوي ينظم تحت الرعاية السامية لصاحب الجلالة الملك محمد السادس نصره الله وأيده من طرف الوزارة بشراكة مع مجموعة من المفاعلين بما فيه المعهد ديال البحث في الطاقة الشمسية والطاقات الجديدة لغزان مشكورين. كما تعلمون أن هذه الدورة الخامسة القمة تأتي في سياق دولي ووطني جد خاص، حيث يرى البعض أن الاهتمام بموضوع الطاقات الجديدة، الطاقات الخضراء والهيدروجين، بدأ يتراجع نتيجة تباطؤ في التطوير على المستوى العالمي وعدم انخفاض تكاليف الإنتاج بالسرعة المتوقعة، مما يجعل طبعا هذه التقنيات الجديدة مكلفة شيئا ما. ويوجد اليوم أيضا مجموعة من الخطابات التي هي مشككة في قضية المناخ والأزمات الجيوسياسية والتوتر المستمر على الصعيد العالمي والجهوي. ولكن اليوم على عكس ذلك، وحضوركم هو برهان على ذلك، هذا يعزز قناعتنا، قناعة المملكة المغربية، ويشجعنا للمضي قدما في تسريع انتقالنا الطاقي الذي هو أولا وقبل كل شيء تحول لنموذجنا الاقتصادي ونموذجنا الاجتماعي لخلق المزيد من فرص الشغل وتحقيق التنمية المحلية والعدالة الاجتماعية بطريقة أكثر استدامة. ولهذا السبب أود اليوم أن أشارك معكم 3 نقاط مهمة. أولاً، من اللازم تطوير بنية تحتية غازية مستدامة كحافز أساسي لهذا التحول الاقتصادي والاجتماعي الطاقي والصناعي الخالق لفرص العمل. النقطة الثانية هو إنشاء قطب التميز في البحث والتطوير وتأهيل رأس المال البشري في قطاعات الطاقات المتجددة. والنقطة الثالثة هي موقع المملكة كممر فريد لتجارة الطاقة الخضراء والجزيئات الخضراء وتجارة المعادن المكونات الأساسية للانتقال الطاقي. Ladies and gentlemen, let me switch to English because some of my points will be a bit technical. I gave you the summary in Arabic. I'll switch now to English so that everybody understands my key messages. First key message, natural gas as a critical enabler to the hydrogen economy. As I said it many times, we cannot be serious, we cannot talk seriously about hydrogen, about Power-to-X, if we are not credible in building our gas infrastructure. And we see natural gas infrastructure and pipelines and ports as a key prerequisite to a green economy. That's why we plan to launch a formal RFP for an FSRU in the port of Nador West Med and for the development of pipelines to connect supply and demand centers before the end of the year. That will hopefully create new areas of opportunities for the eastern region of Morocco. We've had, you remember we launched an expression of interest process during the summer, and we've had pretty successful response for more than 50 players from a variety of geographies and a variety of profiles. We had IOCs, international oil and gas companies. We had FSRU operators. We have infrastructure players. And we have construction companies as well interested in the Moroccan market. And we want to capitalize on this great momentum. And it's critical that we do not forget this timing. We must not forget some of the strategic partnerships that we signed with our partners. I'm thinking about our strategic partnership between Morocco and the United Arab Emirates, signed between the two heads of states on the sidelines of COP28 in Dubai in December 2023, executed through a shareholder agreement on May 19, 2025, including our TSO, ONE, and the Fonds Mohamed VI pour l'Investissement, which includes extension of a gas power plant that will double natural gas consumption in electricity to more than 2 billion cubic meters a year. We should not also forget, and I'm thankful to our partners from Africa here present in Power2X today, including from Senegal and Mauritania, our efforts on phase 1A of the Africa Atlantic gas pipeline. And as you know, we're also working in parallel on a gas law, which has to be scheduled shortly to give investors visibility and legal comfort. On the legal side, on the legislative side as well, you remember the publication of La Circulaire, the circular of Morocco Green Hydrogen Offer by the head of government on March 11, 2024. It marked a major milestone for the development of our green economy, but more than that, it created a benchmark of good governance, a benchmark for risk diversification by targeting multiple sectors to minimize market risks in industry, in electricity generation, in transportation fuels. And may I remind you that there's an IMO International Maritime Vote coming during the month of October as well that will totally change the face of the consumption of fuels in the shipping industry. And of course, our Morocco Green Hydrogen Offer also created a benchmark for a phased and adaptive approach to the development of this emerging sector. And we want to really maintain the flexibility needed to respond to changes in the sector, particularly in terms of technology changes, legislative changes, regulatory changes, and market dynamics. My second key message, ladies and gentlemen, is that we need to genuinely and sustainably support innovation, research and development in Morocco, to support our energy and industrial strategy, but mainly to support our youth who decide to devote their future to this industry. IRSN today is the only public entity supporting applied research and innovation in energy transition in the service of the state and the development of pilot projects in this nascent Power2X sector, in which enables the state also to test those different technologies. It is the state's arm for innovation, a neutral and objective arm. And as you all know, we are very busy restructuring several public entities and working on legislations to make this vision a reality. And I take advantage of the presence of Mr. Zernoun, who is heading our agency in charge of strategic investments, to thank him for the help of his agency in helping us restructuring public entities in the energy sector. So this year, the summit, Power2X, mirrors this shift. The main programming exhibition, you will see, offer a stage for governments, for financiers, for the industry to announce projects, to negotiate deals, and to showcase solutions. IRSEC-X serves as a scientific backbone, aligning applied research with market-driven industrial needs. The Power to Talent Fair connects young talents with employers, startups, and project leaders, ensuring that the skills of our youth matches the sector's growth. And together, these pillars embody our areas of focus, the areas of focus of the organizers, and I take this opportunity to thank IRESEN, MAZEN, l'UMCSP, and the Cluster Green Hydrogen for the organization of this summit and to reflect what we wanted to showcase, which is a focus on finance, a focus on offtake agreements, a focus on infrastructure and logistics, a focus on technology and innovation, and a focus on talent and ecosystems to move to an execution phase. My third and final key message today for you, ladies and gentlemen, today, is that this vision contributes to position Morocco as a corridor for global trade, global connectivity, and energy transition. You're here, so you know that our diplomatic pragmatism in the context of geographic and geostrategic shifts, including in the area of clean tech, makes us a critical gateway for investments as the only African corridor. We have now deep water ports, Tanger Med, Nador West Med now, and Dakhla Atlantic, high-speed rail lines and a quality road network, but also with the acceleration, the unavoidable and non-negotiable energy transition that we are accelerating in renewable energies, in clean energies, in green fuels, Morocco could also play the role of a host country, a sort of clearinghouse for research and development, especially between the two major geopolitical blocs injecting a lot of capital and money and subsidies in research and development, North America and China. We have even coined an acronym for that. We call it the OTC corridor, origination for O. Morocco is a producer, but also will be a producer and exporter of competitive low-carbon electrons, low-carbon molecules, low-carbon steel and other commodities, fertilizers as well, and will gain an improved capacity to export competitive, sustainable finished products, fertilizers, automotive equipment, aeronautical equipment, etc. OTC, there's a T as well, so transit. The kingdom offers to be a transit area for manufactured or energy products re-exported between three zones, Africa, Europe, and the Atlantic Basin, in a win-win approach, for example, and where we've discussed that with our Mauritanian partners, a re-export area for Mauritanian gas, a re-exporting area for Mauritanian steel, etc., green steel. And C, certification. The kingdom's commitment to sustainable development means that Moroccan products or any product transiting through Morocco will benefit from a guarantee of sustainability. For example, the compliance with social standards and human rights in mining activities. And I'm inviting you today to join us this afternoon for a side event dedicated to the ESG framework that we intend to develop with our African partners for mineral trading. It's called African ESG Framework, Our Resources, Our Future. So in conclusion, as usual, a little call to action from me to governments in general. We need to accelerate our partnerships, execute them, our investments in infrastructure, in pipelines, in shipping lanes, and interconnections. We need to move fast as our climate goals demand and as fast as our populations demand. Call to action to financiers and the industry. We need to really move now beyond pilot projects towards implementation-ready portfolios and with fair risk sharing and fair and realistic returns. To researchers and innovators, continue the great job you're doing. Scale proven technologies, de-risk what's coming next, and transfer breakthroughs faster to market. And to our young people and our talents that are heavily present here, seize this moment. We need your creativity, we need your ingenuity, and we need your freedom of thinking to help us manage risks in this sector. So ladies and gentlemen, over the next 2 days, let's transform ambition into execution, MOUs, and you know how much I don't like MOUs, into actual investments, and projects into shared prosperity in our regions, thousands of green jobs, better education and healthcare, additional jobs for our young people, for Morocco, for Africa, and for the world. I hereby declare open the 5th World Power2X Summit. Welcome to Marrakesh.